The first meeting was the interview, and just to actually be on the campus of Harvard for me was something I never could have imagined. I grew up on one of the most challenged Indian reservations in the country, and to become a fellow as part of this project and to be affiliated with some of the greatest minds that have really inspired me to challenge myself as a scientist as well as a person, to think about equity and health and the intersection of culture and the environment in ways that aligned with my, values as not only a person, but as a Native person.
The fellowship has supported me to work with and for communities to derive empirical evidence around issues related to water risk and environmental justice to then be able to advocate on their own behalf. As an interdisciplinary scholar with training in both planning and public health, the fellowship has been instrumental in nurturing the reconnection of these two disciplines through my work.
I conduct research with indigenous people who inject methamphetamine, and I do a lot of one-on-one research. I do verbal face-to-face interviews, and oftentimes in these interview scenarios, participants go off script, and they ask me questions as a scientist that I should know. Sometimes they want to know about toxicant exposures or things that are affecting their health, or most importantly, what they could be doing to protect their health. What the fellowship has allowed me to do is to begin addressing these questions. I'm doing this work in affected communities, and it's advancing the science of harm reduction.
For this fellowship, it did a number of things to improve my career. It helped me to establish a lab where I could do my air pollution work. And that also opened the door for me to train undergraduate students in instrumentation and how to conduct field work. This fellowship allowed me to also establish connection with my local community in Western Massachusetts, where there is high rates of asthma and COPD. We are able to establish that connection and provide the needed measurement data on the ground.
The fellowship gave me the time and space, and most importantly, the professional connections and new collaborators to be able to develop networks and relationships with local communities in Colorado to look at how environmental justices were being produced and perpetuated, and most importantly, what solutions we could co-develop to address those problems. And having the funding support from this fellowship to spend time developing relationships with community organizations in order to support the amazing work that they are doing to advance environmental justice in Colorado.
I wanted to do work at the intersection of energy and equity and healthy housing with a focus on vulnerable populations. Through the JPB Fellowship, I was able to do a national study to do work in energy assistance offices and with community action agencies. And to me, that was really also about moving beyond one particular community for impact and thinking about how to have national and even global impact. There's definitely a lot of inter-cohort collaborations that are really about driving the research and the science and the thinking forward. They already are leaders today in the field, and I think will continue to flourish as leaders in this space.